welcome to G&G's first YouTube video. I decided that I was going to sew a pattern today, so I thought it would be fun to film this and just get out my thought process on how I sew new patterns, because I don't just design. I like to creep up on other pattern designers. Today I will be sewing the 5 out of 4 agility tank. I just purchased this pattern. I'm really excited because I've been looking at this pattern for a long time. I really need a cool tank top to wear to game day for my son's football game. That's going to be the final product. I'm going to sew a muslin first. Okay, so a few things before we get started. This is my first video on YouTube and doing any type of review, tutorial, anything like that. So you'll have to bear with me as we go along. 2, this video is not endorsed or sponsored by either the pattern or the fabric company that I'm using. So 5 out of 4 has absolutely no idea I'm doing this. I don't know the designer personally. I do know Rochelle, who works there, the owner of 5 out of 4, and Darcy from Sincerely Riley, do not know. These are strictly my opinions in this video. This has nothing to do with feelings towards 5 out of 4. I know everyone thinks I'm pretty biased about Sincerely Riley because I do buy fabric from her pretty much weekly, but these are my opinions only. I feel everyone should sew patterns for themselves before making a decision. This is just my personal take away from this pattern. Without further ado, let's get started. So I purchased the 5 out of 4 agility tank on their website, and I will link to purchase in the description so you can all go check out all the awesome tester photos. I printed it out in sections because my stapler decided to be you'll have to ignore the print job. I'm running out of toner and apparently my printer wants to be so we're just gonna go through it real quick so you can see. First, there is a description that says a PDF sewing pattern for a standalone sports bra or a loose fitting overlay tank, a maternity overlay tank, and a dress. The tank can be finished with either a hem, a drawstring, or a band. I think we'll go with the band. All options include choice of T-back or strappy back style and nursing access. We don't need the nursing access. We're gonna go with strappy back, I believe. The overlay has 2 arm height, which means the higher option hits right above the bottom of the bra so no skin shows, and the lower arm option has sides that are scooped lower to show skin under the arms. In keeping with the theme of showing more skin, we are going to go with the scooped option. Next, they have drawings, line drawings of all the options, which is super helpful, especially for beginners, and especially with a pattern that has this many options. And I bought this pattern like a day before they updated this pattern with a new size chart. The new pattern that they just re-released goes up to 5XL. I think that's what I read in their group. I just joined their group today also. Their group seems super supportive. They seem pretty active in the group. When I look through the sizes, my bust sits at a small, which most patterns I'm either in the lower end of medium or the higher end of small, so that's about right on. And my hips are a large, which is about right too. I'm pear-shaped. This pattern takes you through fabric choices, which is really important. There's also a link to the blog on choosing your fabric, especially if you're doing a built-in bra. I will not be doing that today because I'm an A cup and I never have to use power mesh or cups at all. It's saying we need a lot of Lycra in our fabric. I will go ahead and show you the fabric that I'm going to use now. So for my muslin, I decided to use swim fabric, and it looks like the front of that is heads gathering, and with gathering I always try to use a really drapey fabric. This swim I got from Sincerely Riley. I will link her shop in the description below as well. She has an entire swim section. So I'm using this as the bra and the band. I also got this really pretty solid magenta swim for the overlay. Okay, so moving right along in the pattern, it gives you instructions on how to print. This pattern does have layers. It has 8.5 by 11 letter and A4 version, and A0 file is for large format printing at a copy shop. So all of that is included. So there's a page printing guide, which is super helpful. It will give you what you need to print for each option. This pattern is a no trim pattern. Those are my favorite. If you disagree, you're wrong. No trim is basically the edges of the paper butt up to a line on the previous page. You do not have to trim anything. Okay, so the cutting instructions are extremely thorough. There's like 5 or 6 different cutting instructions, and that's pretty cool. We are going to go ahead and jump into cutting. I'm going to make this go quickly because there's nothing more boring than cutting out pattern pieces. I'll be right back. I will say while cutting is there are no pattern pieces for the rectangle binding or the band. Sometimes that can get a little bit annoying when you have to go back to the instructions and see what size to cut them at. Like, you can tell that I had to reference the pages. Now, is that enough for me to not want to purchase a 5 out of 4 pattern in the future? No, that's not a deal breaker. I will probably go and create some more pattern pieces on my own, just so that while I'm cutting I don't have to measure. If that is an important detail to you, like, just be aware that the rectangle pieces do not have the physical pattern pieces to it. So now we're going to get to my favorite part, which is the sewing portion of the video. I'm going to time lapse that as well. I will also check in throughout the pattern and let you know how it's going. Here we go. I just want to pop in and say I think I'm about halfway. All the pieces are going together great. The instructions are very clear with all of the options. I have no issue going through. It's very clear. Skip to this page if you're doing this option. So it's going really well. I can't wait to see it when it's finished. Okay, so I'm almost done. I just need to add the elastic into the bra portion and add the bottom band. I will say the binding is a little intense if you're not used to using Lycra while doing binding. They did instruct in the pattern that Wonder Tape would really help. So let's finish this up and get some fit photos. I can't wait. So overall, I am super excited about the fit. The hemband is nice and snug around my hips. I'm glad I graded to a large instead of just going for a straight small, because I don't think I'd want it any snugger down here. It's nice and slouchy and cool for summer. I think this armhole hits about right where it's supposed to. A good amount of skin, but not too much. The bra is nice and snug. Like I said, I'm an A cup, so I don't feel like I even need to add elastic. I'm really loving this gathered front. I crisscrossed my straps in the back. I love the way it turned out. It was such a fun sew, and I think I'm gonna make some swim bottoms out of the bra fabric and wear it as a swimsuit. Stick around, I'm gonna go ahead and make my final version. I will get photos in just a few. Okay, so I just finished my final top that I was set out to make today. Look of it, I got the mascot on there and his number is on the back. This one turned out even better than I expected. I made sure all my gathering was perfect across the front, and I did add some binding along the armholes because I wanted to add some sort of white in there along with the black and blue. It brought it up just a little bit with the binding, which is perfect. And I will go ahead and put some finished photos, some promo photos in the end of the video so you can see it modeled. So for me, this pattern is an absolute home run. I had so much fun sewing it. If you would like to see me do some more of these, if you have a suggestion for patterns that you'd like to see me sew or things we should talk about, if we can get this going, maybe we can do G&G giveaways on this channel. Just let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to see more videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so that you get a notification every time I upload a video. And you can also follow me on Facebook, in my Facebook group, on Instagram, Reddit, and Twitter. And don't forget to follow 5 out of 4 on Facebook as well. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching, everyone.